Before we start the video, tomorrow night, Friday night, I'm going to be doing a live stream on YouTube, just going through the Caulfield card a little bit more in depth, something I don't normally do, obviously. The live stream will be somewhere between maybe 7 or 8 PM, so stay tuned for that. Link will be in the description of the live stream. If you can watch, great. If you can't, try and watch it on a repeat on Saturday morning. Please check it out, and I'll see you in the video. And I reckon it'll be in the right spot to take over late in the piece and win. So I've got It's True on top.
It's True, a neck, Picture None coming at her hard. They hit the line. It's True. It's True just beat Picture None, Razatsu and Spirit of Gold.
Getting to Flemington will also suit HEZASHOCKA. Jamie Caron suits. I've got 10 to win on HEZASHOCKA. Pretty keen on it in this field.
And MANKAYAN's lifting in the middle. HEZASHOCKA, MANKAYAN, head bobber. Photo finish, I reckon HEZASHOCKA.
And I knew it was going to go to this race, as I've already said. So I got 15 to 1 Daytona Bay. I reckon it's ready to win. Jamie Caron is also a big plus.
Daytona Bay is going well, and the favourite won it. Daytona Bay from Jimmy the Bear Room go a shove over.
Hello everyone and welcome to my preview of Bletchingly Stakes Day from Caulfield. Group 3 racing action on the weekend. Going to be a cracking card. Let's get on with race number 1. Race number 1 is a 2-year-old handicap over the 1200 metres, and River Ribble is the early favourite at $4. THRON is at $5, and there's $5.50 about for HAFEY. And this was River Ribble's last start, run and win at Cranbourne in a 2-year-old maiden over the same distance as what it faces on the weekend. This was it first up. In its second preparation, it's come on lengths, it seems like, since its first preparation. From gate 6 on the weekend, Joel McNeil should put it right there on speed, hopefully in the lead or outside the leader, and it can just control it at its own pace, because there doesn't look to be a whole lot of speed on the weekend, and I reckon this horse is one of the best bets of the day. I've got 20 to win on River Ribble, pretty confident on it. I think it'll be shorter than $4 on the day. $10 saver on HAFEY, good debut winner, probably wasn't ready for the Blue Diamond at its second start, so it can improve and win. THRON has to carry the big weight, but is 2 in a row in its win streak, and Chester Warrior in there for 4th first start. But I'm with River Ribble in race number 1. Race 2 is the Vobis Gold Ingot for the 2-year-olds over the 1400 metres, and Boogie Dancer is the $2 favourite. $3.20 about for Manhattan Thunder, and then a gap back to the rest at $7.50 from Black Max. But this was Boogie Dancer's last start win at Sandown. This was over the 1300 metres, so this was the toughest test that it faced to date, and it won by 4 lengths running away, or 3.8 to be exact. 1400 metres I don't see to be any issue. Jamie Carr sticks, which is important. Gate 5, it'll be right there on speed. This was on wet ground. The only little small query is whether it can do it on a firmer surface, but I don't see that to be much of a query, and I reckon it's got the most exposed form, which is why it's the $2 favourite, and I can't not put it on top. So I've got Boogie Dancer on top. Manhattan Thunder could just come out and bolt in. Damien Lane on this horse can win. Gate 2, a little bit sticky. The same with Berkeley Squares, a good horse, but I'm just not sure from the gate. And Bel Air, I reckon, is over the odds for the Freedmans at $15. But I think Boogie Dancer can win the second race at Caulfield. Race 3 is a fillies and mares benchmark 70 over the 1400 metres, and Unusual Culture is the $5.50 favourite alongside of MINOUCHE, also at $5.50. AWAPUNI Princess, the third favourite, at $7. This was the last start replay of MINOUCHE at Sandown. This was over the 1200 metres first up, so second up to the 1400 metres is pretty good for this horse. Draws gate 5 on the weekend, which is also important. Damien Oliver goes on, which is a plus. It was a race for the on-paces, as you can see here in this race, and MINOUCHE was just sort of coming along nicely late, and I actually like this horse on the weekend as well. I've got it in my strategy, 15 to 1 on MINOUCHE. I reckon it's a good chance to win race number 3. Second is Our Pretty Princess for me. It'll run from the back, crying out for the 1400. Billy Egan rides, it's a good chance. DERIVE, blinkers on for the first time. Jacob Opperman claims 2, it can run well, and Salt Bay is ready to win, but can it win on the weekend? We'll find out. It's at $11, my 4th pick, but I'm with MINOUCHE in the 3rd race. Race 4 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 2,400 metres, and Forest Diamond is the $3.70 favourite ahead of Shadow Hawk at $4.40 and Duke of Hastings is at $4.50. This was the Mahogany Challenge final. Forest Diamond, CALMSIR and Shadow Hawk come out of this. I'm happy to take on CALMSIR on the weekend. Won at a big price here. It was a real staying test, which I don't think it'll be much of a staying test on Saturday compared to this. So happy to take that on. I end up having trouble splitting Forest Diamond and Shadow Hawk. I've just lent the way of Forest Diamond. Thought it was the slightly better run here. I think from gate 3 on the weekend, and Alana Kelly claiming 2 kilos, it can put itself in a prominent position to win and go on with the job. So I'm with Forest Diamond in the 4th, just ahead of Shadow Hawk, who, as I've said, is a good chance. Duke of Hastings won last start at Caulfield, has to go up in distance and rises way up in weight, which I don't like, but it's still a good chance. And CALMSIR, who won that race we just saw, has to be in there for 4th. But I'm with Forest Diamond in the 4th anyway. Race 5 is the Vobis Gold Stayers. It's a set weights plus penalty race over the 2,400 metres, and No Effort is the $3.40 favourite ahead of TEEWATERS at $5.50 early. Now this was No Effort's last start run at Caulfield behind D'Aguilar and HEZASHOCKA. Nearly got it done, but Lucky King just went maybe 2 metres too early, and that's what cost it. Has to rise up to the 2,400 metres on the weekend, which I do see to be a little bit of a query, but it's won over the 2,100 or 2,075. I think it'll run a good 2,400 metre race. It was only just clawed in here by HEZASHOCKA and D'Aguilar, who both ran well last week. And I think No Effort will justify its favouritism. So I've got it on top, just ahead of Chains of Honour, who can run the distance. Jamie Carr will put it on speed. I reckon Jamie Carr will be aware that No Effort is a query at the distance and make it a genuine staying test. So I've got it in there for 2nd. TEEWATERS in there for 3rd. Might need one more run to top it off, but Willow On is a good sign, and REUBER in there for 4th, the last start winner. But I'm with No Effort in the 5th race. Race 6 is a 3-year-old's Colts and Geldings handicap over the 1,200 metres, and PASCERO is the $3.30 favourite early ahead of Sandy Prince, first up at $3.80 for Craig Williams. This was PASCERO's last start run in the Bletchingly Stakes over 1,200 metres at Flemington behind Passive Aggressive, where it ran okay here. This was 5 weeks ago, so it's 5 weeks in between runs. Was scratched from Flemington last week because of the wet track. We'll get a firmer surface on the weekend, but has to stay at 1,200 metres, which I don't really like. Has to carry the 60 kilos, but I don't see that to be much of a query at all. I would have liked to see Damien Lane being booked on his return because he's the regular rider, but obviously not. This race had me a bit bamboozled, but I ended up putting PASCERO on top. I just think from gate 4 it'll be in the right position to strike when the race gets to its climax. Sandy Prince in there for 2nd. First up, but it'll go forward for Craig Williams from gate 11, give itself every chance. Pounding might want a bit further, but from gate 9, Jamie Carr can get it into the race at the right time, and Cooled beat Inundation last start. It's a good chance. I'm with PASCERO. Race 7 is a 3-year-old fillies handicap over the 1,200 metres, and Snapped, first up for Jamie Carr, is the $3.60 favourite ahead of Chain of Lightning, who is at $4. This was Snapp's most recent jump out at Mornington. This was a very, very, very good piece of work. Obviously not reading a lot into the jump out. We want to see its race form. First up last time, which was his first prep, it won by 3 lengths at Pakenham in a 1,200 metre race. And then second up, it proved its class again, winning at, I think, at a city race. I think gate 1 on the weekend is not much of a query at all. It can either lead or be box seat. I reckon Jamie Carr will have it somewhere near there. It just has to get out, and I think it'll win. So Snapped on top ahead of Chain of Lightning, who was the last start winners with 3 from 3. Blake McDougall retains the ride. It's a good chance. She's All Class has to carry the big weight and draws wide, but can run a race. And SIGH, no luck last start. Probably should have won that race, won by Ojo Sand in the end. But I'm with Snapped in the 7th race. Race 8 is the Group 3 Bletchingly Stakes over the 1,200 metres, and Maleva is the $4.80 favourite. $6 around for both Oxley Road and King of Sparta as well. $6.50 for the Old Boys Streets of Avalon. This was MARIAMIA's Balmain Stakes run mid-February. This was the last time it was at the track and trip, Caulfield 1,200 metres, and it nearly won this race. Probabeel and Flying Mascot obviously coming through this race beat it, but they're 2 really good horses. This was at Group 3 level, but it was against the mares. Now it has to go against the boys. It's gone to Joseph Pride's stable and improved a couple of lengths since going there. So Jamie Carron as well as a big plus on the weekend, and I reckon it can win the Bletchingly Stakes on Saturday. So I've got MARIAMIA on top, just ahead of Streets of Avalon, who was my saver in the race. Ran second last year, nearly won. I think it's going worse this year, but I still think it has the class to win the race. OXLEY riding King of Sparta in there for 3rd and 4th. They're both good chances as well, but I'm with MARIAMIA in the Bletchingly Stakes. Race 9 is a benchmark 78 over the 1400 metres, and lucky decision first up for Peter Moody is the $5 favourite. TURBEAU next best at $5.50, and then Palanco is at $9. TURBEAU and Mr. Exclusive come out of this race at Caulfield, won by HEZASHOCHA Bonneval about 4 weeks ago. TURBEAU has had a run since this and was 3 wide without cover throughout, so forget that run. But I'm with TURBEAU on the weekend. We'll need further than 1400 in time, but Jacob Opperman claims the 2 kilos on the weekend, which I really like. From gate 12, I'm hoping it gets into the 3 wide running line and is there to strike at the race's climax, and I think TURBEAU is the winner of race number 9. So I got 15 the winner on it. Second, Mr. Exclusive, it'll put itself right there on speed. Logan McNeil rides, it's a good chance. Here to Shock needs to gain a start, but from gate 3, if it does gain a start, for Jet Stanley claiming the 3 kilos is a good chance, and lucky decision I reckon is a false favourite in there for 4th. But I'm with TURBEAU in the last. Good luck to you all on Saturday. I'll be out there at Caulfield, so I hope I can tip some winners.